Hi, I'm Russell James and you're watching The Raw Chef TV. In this episode I'm going to show you how to make an amazing cheese plate out of all these ingredients. We're going to get really chefy on you and show you exactly what can be done with raw cheeses and going to inspire you to maybe try out a little bit of this for yourself and a little bit of raw food for yourself. So without further ado, let's get into it. I'm going to talk you through all the individual ingredients and you'll see what this ends up looking like.
The first thing to do is take a really nice plate that you're excited to work with and decide how much of the plate you're actually going to place food on. Now I'm going to have a line going through the middle of the plate, leaving the rest of the white space clear. Select your first cheese and think about plating being a journey. So maybe we'll start with smaller pieces at the start, moving up in size and flavour intensity. So this blue cheese, which is made with macadamias and spirulina, is going to be our biggest piece of cheese, so we'll place that at the far edge of the plate. Next we've got basic cashew cheese, which we made smaller by actually not filling up the ring mould quite so high when we made it. Cashew cheese is easier to get firm into a cheese that actually slices, almost like a piece of cheddar. This lends itself to being cut into 3 small pieces and placing at the other end of the plate. This is a macadamia cheese with chilies, which again is a different height and makes things more visually appealing. Next is the cheese roll, which is a Boursin style of cheese. So we'll just cut the end off. That allows us to cut 3 thin slices for presentation. So consider how you want to lay those out onto the plate. I'm going to stack mine up on top of each other. Next we've got macadamia pesto cheese. We'll cut 1 large piece and place that on the plate. This olive and caraway cheese looks really nice in smaller pieces, which we'll cut for this particular space on the plate. None of these rules are absolute, but I'm giving you an insight into the way I think when I plate cheese. So you'll notice that as I'm cutting this cheese into pieces, each of them points generally into the same direction, away from the person you're serving to, kind of in that same idea of we're taking a journey through the plate from small to large and from less flavourful and less intense to more intense. I've got this beautiful balsamic emulsification, which is just balsamic vinegar and olive oil. With my finger over the nozzle and with the bottle away from the plate, I'll get this right into the tip. So now we're ready to get this on the plate, really wherever it looks good, in different size dots for variation across the plate. Then we'll pop on some of these pear crisps, which are just dehydrated pieces of pear and maple syrup and lemon juice. We want to think about height as well here, so I'll lean these pieces of pear up against the cheese here. Now I've got these 3 beautiful different flavours of olives. These smoked ones will go better with the pepper cheese. Then these Aussie olives, which are sweeter, would go great with any of the cheeses, so I'll put them in this case with the blue cheese. And the same with the Moorish olives, they lend themselves to any of these flavours of cheeses, so we'll just simply place them based on where they look appealing. Here I've got some organic baby plum tomatoes that I marinated in olive oil, balsamic vinegar and Himalayan salt. We dehydrated them for a couple of hours, which actually makes them look cooked and brings out the colour, which really makes them pop on the plate. So consider really just where they look good, and if you make a mistake, don't worry, just use a clean cloth to clean up and reposition. As another general rule, odd numbers look more appealing, so we'll just use 5 pieces of this tomato. Let's add a couple of pieces of dehydrated cracker in there too. Now you can lay some flat and you can lean some up against the cheese. Got some of this really nice fermented pear chutney. Now the sweetness of this goes really well with the acidity we've got on the plate already. We don't need much of this, just a couple of small spoonfuls on the plate is going to be a real treat. The last thing we'll put on before we add the greens are some of these candied walnuts, which again have been dehydrated with maple syrup and some Chinese 5-spice. So to add the greens, I've got some of this really cool Greek basil to start with. It's got really small leaves and looks really nice and decorative and goes great with the pesto cheese. As with the crackers, the greens can look really nice laid flat, particularly nice stood up between the cheeses. Salad cress looks really beautiful and it's got a fresh and simple flavour, which will be great for the simplicity of the cashew cheese. If we were eating this cress with any of the stronger cheeses, the flavour would just get completely lost. Cut the pointed ends of these chives off, then the most decorative part, and sit them up next to the chili cheese, because flavour-wise chili and onion or chili and chives goes really well together. Then we'll take some white and green parts of the spring onion, cut them lengthwise and also at an angle, so it gives you these really nice pointed pieces of onion that look great. And then pick the most decorative pieces and get them to stand up, in this case next to this rolled cheese. Remove the leaves from the large thyme stalks, we don't want the stalk in there, and let the leaves fall over the rolled cheese. And then lastly we'll take a small sprig of dill to place next to the blue cheese.
So there you go then, takes a little bit of time but definitely worth investing your time in. It's a lot of fun and really satisfying, just really shows you exactly what can be done with raw food. If you're interested in learning more about raw cheeses and recipes, I've got a cheese ebook on my site, therawchef.com, and also check out my home study course where I go deeper into making all of these individual components. So until next time, I'll see you later.